Hi guys, it's Elle here from Beyond Expectations. Now in this video we're going to discuss weight loss and measurements, and I'm going to give you the 4 things that you need to measure in order to keep track of your results. And also I'm going to share with you at the end my top tips on measuring. So first of all, the first thing that I suggest that you measure is girth measurements. Now this can be done very inexpensively with a tape measure. You can use any tape measure. You can usually get them from craft supplies. Now I'm just going to go over it really quickly again, how to measure the way that I did in the making of Beyond Expectations. Now first thing I like to measure is my hips. So you put your legs together, don't squeeze them too tight together, just have them very comfortably together, and you want to measure not too low and not too high. So as a general rule, across the lady garden is usually best. So grab your tape measure, get your measurements, and be sure to record them. You need to write them down so that you can keep track of whether or not you're losing centimeters, because some weeks you may not lose body fat, but you may lose centimeters, and it's a good indication to the fact that you're getting smaller and tighter. Now also you want to measure your leg. You don't want to go too high or also too low. Just under the crotch area is best. So just around the leg, take your measurement and then record that also. Now with your stomach, I generally like to go across the belly button because your belly button doesn't move. If you go too high or too low, it can be inaccurate sometimes. So just go right across the belly button like so, take your measurement and then record it. And also the next thing I like to do is either my chest or my arms. Generally I usually go for my chest, and you want to go right across the nipple line. So get the tape measure and just right across the nipple line there, which gives you a good indication. Now the arm is tricky. I tend to hold it with my thumb and then just sort of bring it around like so, and that's how I do my arm. Now it's always good to make sure that you're keeping track of your results. That's critical. So the first thing I want you to do is measure. The first thing I suggest you do is you measure with the tape measure your girth measurements. The second thing is, when you are weighing yourself, it is critical that you don't just use weight as an indication of you transforming and reshaping your body, because weight can be many things. It can be muscle, it can be fluid, it can be fat. What you want to be doing is removing the actual fat from your body, because that's when you're going to have a defined physique. Okay, so weight is only a small indication of how you are going in your transformation journey. For me, I always focus on body fat. You would see even in the making of Beyond Expectations, I would be devastated if I didn't lose body fat, and even more so if I'd put on body fat. That was the real indication of whether or not I'm losing the actual fat off my body rather than water, muscle, fluid. It's not a good indication. So the next thing I want you to measure is your body fat. Okay, so you can do that on a body fat scale. I'll insert some pictures here. This is a picture of my old scale, which is broken, which is very sad because it has sentimental value to me. And this is my new scale. Now it doesn't really matter what scale you choose. Choose one that's within your budget. The most important thing is that you're using it consistently at the same time, the same day, each week, okay? Now, when you are measuring on body fat scales, they can measure you differently, so don't freak out. One body fat scale can measure you one way and another body fat scale can measure you another way. All right, it's just an indication that the body fat's going down and therefore you are moving in the right direction. All right, you cannot get too caught up on the numbers. I know what it's like to be in your shoes and just feel like your body's not where you want it to be and be devastated by the results. There were a number of times I was devastated by my results through the making of Beyond Expectations. But just keep moving forward. Consistency beats intensity every time. Okay, so first thing is girth measurement. Second thing is you need to measure your body fat. Third thing would be your muscle mass. You need to get a good indication of whether your muscles are growing. All right, you want to gain more muscle on your body, so therefore your body is working harder for you rather than you working hard for your body. When you have more muscle on your body than fat, what will happen then is that you are able to get your body at the point where its resting fat burning rate is very high. So for me, my resting fat burning rate is extremely high, and therefore I have to do very little exercise to be able to maintain my shape and physique. That's what you want to achieve. You want your more muscle than fat, okay? Now, the third thing I would want you to do is weight, okay? That's just a guide, really. If I had to choose between those 4 things to weigh yourself with, so girth measurements, body fat, muscle mass, weight is not even that important to me, but it is a good indication of where your body is going. All 4 together are a power punch. So it's very important that you measure all 4. So you need to be doing your girth measurements, because some weeks you may lose centimeters and not body fat. Your body fat, that is critical. That is where everything will determine whether or not you are achieving the body that you want, you're getting that defined physique. And fourthly is muscle mass. You need more muscle on your body than you do fat, so that's important, okay? And also you need to measure your weight, just as a guide of how you are tracking. All right, so my top tips to you: do not weigh yourself every day. No, that is a big no-no, and I will tell you why. Please let me explain. It'd be like looking in your bank account and expecting to have more money than yesterday. It just doesn't work like that. Things take time. Your body needs to respond to what you're doing, and it takes time. A week is a good time frame. So what I would suggest is that you measure whatever day you choose. Let's say it's Friday and you choose Friday morning. You measure Friday morning, and then you don't measure again until the next Friday morning, okay? You don't measure Friday morning, then feel depressed on Sunday and measure again. Do not do that. Okay, no matter how much you feel like you want to. Maybe you can even have a buddy. That's another tip to you, is a buddy. For example, I did most of my measurements with John because then he could tell me, hey, it's not your measuring day, you shouldn't be measuring. Perhaps you could have a measuring buddy who will keep you accountable for when you measure on days that you shouldn't. That could also work. Now, I'm also going to share with you a little secret of mine. I am still terrified to weigh myself. I'm still terrified to look at my body fat measurements, and I'm still terrified to put the tape measure around me. I know it's ridiculous, but I think it's ingrained in us, particularly when I was so unhappy with how I was looking in Beyond Expectations, and I wanted to achieve a body and physique that I'd be proud of. And it was so upsetting and nerve-wracking to get on the scales or to measure myself. And now, still to this day, I have that fear. So just to recap, the 4 things that you need to measure are girth measurements, body fat, muscle mass, and weight.
Hi guys, it's Kiana here. Hi guys, it's Kamika here.
Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope this helped. Please leave your comments and questions down below, and please give this video a big thumbs up. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notifications. If you need help reshaping and transforming your body, please head on over to our website elle.com to grab your free copy of 7 Rules from Beyond Expectations. Thanks so much. Bye! Next year, in May 2011, I will be competing in the International Sports Modelling Physique Competition. And it'll be roughly 9 to 10 months after my second baby. Unfortunately, I don't actually have a nanny to take care of my children, a chef to prepare my meals, someone to do my washing, any of those things. I don't have a personal trainer, I don't have a nutritionist, I don't even have gym membership.
Please welcome mother of 2, Elle.